Hey guys, it's Rally here and welcome to episode 14 of Let's FIFA 18. And as you can see here, we sold on a bunch of the items we got from the draft, pretty much making our coins back, and at the same time there's a couple more players to sell on. So I guess from the first draft we played on this road to glory, we made a little bit of profit, and I actually thought to myself, I'll play another one, because one, well, if we reach the third or the fourth round, we'll most likely make our coins back again, and two, you get to try out a bunch of different players, and I think it's a good way to sort of test out some potential players we can pick up in the future, because we do have a quite nice amount of coins and I don't really know what to do with them at this stage. So I was looking at the formations and I couldn't really decide if I should go with a 3-4-2-1, just go with a lot of attacking options, or if I should go with the 4-1-4-1. And I decided to go with the 4-1-4-1 in the end, because I think that'll be better for my defending, and I think that is still a pretty important thing. Playing three at the back, I think I'll concede a lot of goals. The only thing I dislike about this formation is you only got one player up front. I usually like to either play with two strikers or the 4-3-2-1, where you have the left forward and right forward sort of supporting your striker, so you can go on some counter-attacks and make some quick combination play. I feel like this formation is a bit more suited for patient build-up play, maybe, in a way. Anyways, you see here, we go a bit of a Premier League route. We got Aguero as the captain, and then I got Son, which now have 4-star skills this year. A player I am considering picking up to try out. Dele Alli also got 4-star skills. You can do the El Tornado skill. You could do some interesting skill kind of squad that way around at one point in time. So as you can see, yeah, I got a lot of good Premier League players. In some way, I didn't want to go a full Premier League squad because I had a lot of Premier League players in my first draft. But then again, there was a lot of new players here I did not get to try out in the previous draft. So I picked. I went with the Premier League route here, and got some pretty interesting players. Bakayoko as well, which could be fun to try out. Lovren, probably not the best centre back, and I guess this was where I started to run out of players that kind of suited my squad perfectly, or players I really wanted to play with. We do have some options here. I went with Perrin for the sort of for the French thing, and then he also linked with my left back. For the right back, I did get some Premier League stuff again. We got Bayer in there, and I decided to grab him in on the right back spot. There was also Aurier and Klein, of course. And then finally, my goalkeeper was going to be Foster here. We also got Fabianski, but I decided to go with the Englishman there in the net. Moving on to our backup defenders, we didn't really get anyone that could help us. I was hoping for Premier League. Centre back. Didn't really pop up, so I was considering my options if I should open up another league, or if I should go with a player that could play on the right hand side and then maybe move Bayer in somewhere else. And that was what I opted for in the end. Moses with the 4-star skills as well might become useful, even though I don't do too many skill moves with my fullbacks. I decided to grab him. Another League On defender there, and then we got Bolasie, a 5-star skiller. We already have Maris on the right mid, but Bolasie is a little bit stronger, and I think I favor him over Maris on the game, just because he got a little bit more strength and a little bit more pace as well. So I put him in on the right mid spot. I looked up another goalkeeper here, and well, we got Foster. Yeah, not really any amazing goalkeepers there. Then Kante popped up, and I had to pick him. I wanted to play with Bakayoko, but Kante's stats, like, he is so good, and the same as last year, he catches everyone. Like, when your opponent tries to go on a counter-attack, having Kante on the CDM spot, he'll just like catch anyone and pick the ball up, get it back for you. So I decided to go with him. Next choice wasn't really the best. We went with the 4-star skiller from Serie A there, and again, not really anything here I could use too much, so I decided to pick Insigne as a super sub for my team. I got a Premier League left back in Milner. Not exactly the fastest of players, though. Also Pedro popping up there, and then a bunch of players that didn't really fit my squad. In the end of the day, I decided to go with Milner, just because we might use him somewhere in the squad, either in the starting 11 or as a super sub. Next up, a lot of good options. We got Silva as one, yeah, good passing and dribbling could be very, very useful in the midfield, but I just feel my midfield is really, really strong. We got two box-to-box players in Herrera and Dembele, and then we got Kande. So I might play Silva in, but I think the starting 11 probably will be around the three we got in the center of the pitch. And I quite like my wingers as well. as we got Son and Bolasie, two pretty decent wingers, and then of course Aguero on the top. And yeah, as you can see, my choices, the next one's popping up, not really anything amazing. What I was looking for at this stage was pretty much defenders, and we do get Kyle Walker and Van Dijk, and Van Dijk was of course going to be my choice, so I could get another centre back in from the Premier League, and we will also swap a little bit around in the defence here. I could play Milner in, but I do think he might be a little bit too slow if we're up against the Ronaldos, the Neymars, and Bales, and all that kind of stuff. It might be a little bit difficult. I was thinking about putting Silva in here, but as I said before, I just think the midfield is so strong, so I'd rather save Silva as a super sub to come onto the pitch, perhaps. And yeah, we actually have a lot of nice midfielders. We also got Keita, we got Bakayoko, so yeah, a lot of options here, and Coleman could potentially play all around the defensive line, and maybe in the midfield as well, if need be. But I didn't really get any Neymar, Ronaldo, or that kind of stuff, unfortunately. But we still have Aguero up on the top, so we'll see how he performs. Hunter chemistry style and the inform card does make him a pretty good front man. The only thing I'm worried about is him being a lone striker. As I said in the beginning, I am not a big fan of the lone player up top. I really do like the quick combination play up top instead of that one striker. Anyways, my first opponent got two icons, and I wish I gotten an icon in just one of these two drafts we've been doing, and he got Neymar. He just had some really nice rated players. Not everyone in the perfect chemistry, but still a very good looking squad. And yeah, we played 16 minutes. We try out Son here using the Cruyff turn, just going back and forth. And eventually would find some space in the middle. Aguero on the ball, on foot to Dembele, but a good save there from Heaton. And yeah, I gotta say, after this, the new patch that got added, I guess at some point last week, the goalkeepers definitely feel somewhat better. And I think that is a nice thing. But I also miss a lot of my chances now, so I guess I have to get a little bit used to the shooting. But a lovely Cruyff the turn there, beating three players with Aguero, going past the keeper, trying the shot, but Sterling able to block it off there in the end. Had been a nice little goal from Aguero. And we are definitely sitting on this match, despite maybe not having the icons. We still played pretty well, creating a lot of chances, losing the ball there, but nice little run from Bolasie, and it would actually pick it up yet again. And this is probably one of my favorite ways to pan out a player. The ball roll through the legs just looks so nice. Bolasie there, nice stuff into Herrera, but couldn't get it past Heaton in the net. And then my opponent to push forward with Neymar on the ball here. A little fake shot. I get the tackle in. He picks it back up. He sends it into Maradona. But we're able to get it out and go on our own little counter-attack. He rushed me. I tried to pull off the bridge. Didn't do it though, but I still beat him. Ran past him, and I just found a lot of space. He was rushing in quite a bit, and it just opened up a lot of space. I was trying to pull off the bridge on a couple of occasions there, but I didn't really trigger it. I just ended up running past him. And I still couldn't put the ball into the back of the net. But I quite enjoyed playing with my wingers here, Bolasie and Son, getting into the play quite a bit. And I suppose I have my midfield a lot more involved in the play than when I play with different formations, with more players up top. Because I tried to get runs going with Aguero on through, but it also seemed just quite nice to play it out in the wing and make my way forward there and then find somebody in the middle. But nice run here from Aguero, and again, Heaton is saving it as we went into the second half. Yeah, again on the ball here, on through to Aguero, using the Cruyff. For some reason, he started rushing his keeper at this stage, and I do not know why. Didn't really make much sense to me. But he had nice hold-up play. Aguero sort of turning really quickly. He rushes out his keeper, and he gives me the goal. Because I had not been able to put it past him. So, well, I would take that opportunity and go into the lead. My opponent with a big chance there for my corner. But we still remain in the lead, and we push forward here. Aguero on the ball, and he just didn't push up on Aguero, so I just kept running forward. Took the shot, and this time I would beat Heaton when he sort of stayed at the net, and we made it 2-0. And Aguero definitely felt good to play with, like those small, quick turns, just finding space, running past players here, and he breaks into the box. I tried for the audacious chip, but it was saved by the goalkeeper easily. I'd get a throw-in from that. And I decided to throw it on to Aguero, and yeah, we again sort of just wiggling back and forth here, turning around, finding some space, and yeah, he's just so good to dribble with, just the close control, and again, trying a chip, he rushed his keeper yet again, but couldn't get it past him, and at the end of the match, it will be a 2-0 scoreline, so we'll win the match, and I felt I should have scored more goals, but still a pretty comfortable win. We're on through into the second round of the draft, but there was also another thing happening at this stage, and that was I'd completed, I reached the stage where I get my squad battle rewards, so I went out and picked those up. We'll get that special kit, we'll get 2 packs and 13,000 coins, and I think I played 7 or 8 squad battles last week, so I think that was a nice little reward. I think I ended up in gold 2. If I'm right, something like that. So we get that special kit, and we get 2 decent packs. Not any packs where I expect to get anything big, but still pretty nice to get those. And I was quite surprised when I saw an inform popping up from the pack, but well, not exactly the best inform, and as you can see, it's from the team of the week that just like went out of packs yesterday, so yeah, he won't sell for much. I decided to check his price, but yeah, league nationality, not really going for too much. I don't know if I'll hang on to him, discard him, or what I'll do. For the time being, I decided to just send the stuff to the club, and then eventually we might sell the players on or use them in some squad building challenges. Sometimes you do need informs, and then maybe it's nice to have a discard inform around in the club. I haven't checked up on the Premier League Player of the Month squad building challenge, if it's still there. If you need an inform, maybe we can do something there, but I'm not sure because they're usually really, really expensive. Anyways, in the last pack, we got a player we already have in our club, and that is Felipe Anderson, so we might be able to sell him on and make a couple thousand coins. So overall, actually some pretty good packs from the squad battles, and that is pretty much going to be where we end off this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.